Headaches on both sides of your head, acne on your chin, your cheeks, and your back, and pain in this middle finger. What do they have in common? Well, it could be that your hormones aren't quite right. And so your testosterone isn't what you probably want it to be. I'm making this video to give you guys some resources and understand that your body is communicating with you in subtle ways. And it's not always just that you don't have the drive or the other things that you might be looking at, that your testosterone's not right. Sometimes your body gives you these other signals. And what I'm going to share with you is a great resource to help really decode all this, but also a couple of secrets that I use for myself to keep my testosterone exactly as it should be. The first thing I want to share with you, though, is this book that my colleague, Dr. Verzal, wrote called The Headache Advantage. And you can see back here, I just went by it. The information that it's giving us is where the headache is, could be telling us what's going on. Temporal headaches may indicate a hormone imbalance. Now, if that's not your only headache and you have other headaches, please still look through this, because there are many other things that these headaches could be telling you, and you could be really making a benefit for your health in many ways if you follow the suggestions that it's making. Now, there are 4 reasons why Dr. Verzal would say that you are getting these types of headaches and what's causing your hormones to be off. And actually, the number 1 has to do with blood sugar being too high. Now, I know that's not a very popular thing to hear. Right? Maybe you really enjoyed the high sugar foods or alcohol or whatever it is that you're eating or drinking. But you should know that that could be something that's messing with your testosterone, and you're going to have to balance your diet out a little bit if you really want to get that under control. And of course, you could support your body's ability to handle blood sugar a little bit better. Now, the other things that could be doing that is just poor liver detox in general, because your liver really needs to help balance these hormones out. And if we're hitting it with a bunch of chemicals and bad foods and all this nonsense that people are eating, that could be slowing down your testosterone and really keeping your hormones from being imbalanced. The one thing that I have known for years to be one of the best absolute things to help bring that back is this combination of herbs. You could just go ahead and get things like rosemary and milk thistle, right? As long as they're good qualities. But this combination specifically from a company called MediHerb has traveled with me so many places. I have had so many friends before going on a trip to Mexico and making sure that they wanted to protect their liver for all the tequila they're going to drink. This was always on the list. So when I go to visit friends and I know that there's going to be alcohol involved, this is almost always in my pocket, because it really helps to clear out some toxins. So this might be something that could be a big game changer for you when it comes to that. But the real secret sauce that I want to share with you today is the weakness in what we call the endocrine system. And what is that? It's this whole symphony that creates all the hormones and keeps them in balance. And it involves things like your hypothalamus in your brain, your pituitary, your thyroid, your adrenal glands, and your orchic glands. Okay, so the whole thing, including your pancreas, really, is going to help keep this balance going. And what we don't realize is that they tend to get damaged by stress and chemicals, and we don't have really ways that we know to help rebuild them, except for this one thing that I use every day. So whenever I get to clinic, the first thing that I do is I take some of what's called a smart tissue repair or protomorphogen for these organs so that I can protect them and keep them as strong as possible. And this is one of the things that I cannot advise enough for people who are really trying to make sure that they're maintaining youthfulness and lots of testosterone, because this provides you a unique profile of nucleotides and peptides from bovine, orchic, adrenal, pituitary, and thyroid. Now, there are ones that you could do to go upstream to your hypothalamus as well, but this one is really helpful for kind of long-term maintenance and strength that I find. Now, interesting that the last thing that Dr. Verzal talks about is stress overload. Now, I've said this many, many times that our adrenal glands are really only this big, but we tend to live, especially in America, like they're this big, right? We just keep going and going and going and expecting them to be able to keep up with all of our demands. But one of my greatest discoveries in clinic was to be able to help people get greater sleep and recovery by protecting those adrenal glands with what that 1/4 that's in there is called the drenatrophin PMG. So the piece that helps to support the adrenals. So many people so far that I've talked to, and I did a whole separate video about this, taking that before bed helps them get deeper sleep. It helps them to recover more. And so this could be something that could be the key to really getting your hormones balanced, getting rid of those headaches, and all of these other symptoms that in chapter 9 in his book, he says all of these could be a part of what's going on with your hormones being out of whack, and we want to get them in whack. Now, I'm not going to give away all the details. I want you all to get this copy of this book for yourself. Check out the website because there's a lot of great information there. But overall, just know that your body is communicating with you in many, many ways. And if it's a headache, instead of just covering it up with some type of headache medication, learn from it. And that could be the key to actually also optimize your testosterone levels. These are two things that I really encourage everybody to investigate a little bit deeper and see about applying them to your life. See what a difference it makes. If you are concerned at all that your hormones aren't perfect, or if you're getting those headaches, this could be the solution that makes all the difference for you. Thanks for watching. I hope these are helpful for you. If you have more comments or questions, please leave them below. I'm happy to give you more of my clinical experience on these, but I just want to present you with options that could be all the difference in you actually optimizing how you feel and you have your testosterone levels exactly where you want them. Have a good one.